Good space time, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Citizen Web3 podcast, a source for educational insights into the Web3 universe and your connection hub to those that turn code and dreams into decentralized applications and reality. Today, we are joined by Guillem from DragonStake nodes. We discuss proof of stake, proof of work, testnet participation, and barriers of entry for validators. We talk about community building, decentralization, tribalism, cooperation, and reputation. Finally, we dive into advice for smaller validators, economics, and aligning with the correct people as a recipe to success.
Freddy's dedicated all his life to the networks before the internet existed. We believe in decentralization, and we need more options than just one. It's easier for a VC or any company that has capital. It's easier for them to just buy the tokens, create the nodes, have the infrastructure, and just that work fluently.
Problem, starts to arise that what I realize is that you cannot create a product if you have too many values.
Network is like a construction that connects everyone. It's the Internet 2.0.
Hi everybody, welcome to a new episode, and this time I'm not going to say Citizen Cosmos, this time I'm going to say Citizen Web3. So for all our listeners out there, if you've been following our blog, and reading some of our recent stories, you've seen the change of the name and the revamp, but not to the point. So welcome to a new episode of Citizen Web3 podcast, and this time I have with me Guillem from DragonStake. Guys are operators around several different chains. We'll talk about it in a second. And Guillem, hi, welcome, man. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to this podcast.
I'm glad to have you on, man. I've been speaking personally from my my journey in Cosmos started I was following the paper, but I didn't start being active in Cosmos until 2018, late 18. And since I've always in some way bumped into you guys, into DragonStake, in my past projects, in my current project. And yeah, so it's nice finally having you actually on and speaking with you. Tell me all about DragonStake. Tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself a little bit more than just Guillem. Who are you, man? What do you do and why?
Okay, I'm going to start by myself. My name is Guillem. I'm from Spain, Barcelona. I discovered blockchain in 2018. Fun fact is that I first criticized Bitcoin when I heard about that because it was 2018 after the bull run to $20,000, and all what I read about Bitcoin was it's a scam, pyramid scheme, only drug operations, that stuff. But after a few months later, I restarted my study about this field, about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blockchain. So I understand fully the key concepts, and I understand that the television wasn't telling completely the truth. So my perception completely changed, and I've been studying blockchain and cryptocurrencies since then. And 2 years later, 2020, I started creating content in Spanish under the name of Crypto Boy. And just talking about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, DeFi opportunities in an easy way that everyone, mostly newbies, could understand, and so they could join the ecosystem without the fear, because there's a lot of different concepts, different tools. So I make make it easy for them. And I grew up a community of 100,000 users, more or less, within 2 years and a half. And then I met Freddy, which is the founder of DragonStake. I met him in a Polkadot event, Polkadot World Barcelona in 2021, where both were speakers. So we create our relationship there. And last year I directed a company based specialized in education and consulting in new technologies, and I hired Freddy and Mario, which is our senior developer in DragonStake, to teach some topics in the blockchain ecosystem. And that's all about myself. I think so. And then Freddy, which is the founder, I think it's a cool story to tell. Freddy's dedicated all his life to the networks before the internet existed. So what I mean with that is that as we saw in the movies, the networks before internet work synchronously. So as we seen in the movies, there were people in booths collecting messages, then transferring these messages to other booths in other countries, and then these booths to the people in that country. So Freddy started there, and he discovered Bitcoin in its early stages, 2020. I don't remember the year exactly. And then after discovering Bitcoin, he started mining Ethereum by his own. And well, he started receiving white papers about new networks that won't work with proof of work, as we already as all the networks before work, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but with proof of stake and the concept of staking. And he discovered that. He started working with the Cosmos network, and later founded DragonStake, the first company in Spain dedicated to proof of stake validation. And right now, we are the first company in Spain, and I think that currently we are still the only Spanish company dedicated to blockchain, creating blocks in proof of stake.
This is actually quite interesting. Freddy is mainly the guy. I was going to ask you about Freddy. Freddy, I spoke with him when I was saying that I contacted you guys a couple of times with the other projects. It usually, and I think he had like a little green dragon logo next to his name. Yeah. And man, but you said you build. I have a question for you about the community that you built. You said you managed to build a community within several years of 100,000+ active users, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, man, that's a lot. What's the secret, man? What is the
a lot of hustle, hard work. I work with in these 2-3 years, like Monday to Monday, a lot of hours, and I strongly believe in blockchain and in cryptocurrencies and in their future. So when you strongly believe in something, you transmit these values to the people, and they catch that feeling, so they are more attracted to you, your channel, your value proposition. And I started in a beer market. Yeah, 2020 was like pre-COVID, so it was a beer market, and then I got the boom with the bull run. So I think that's why my community grow up so fast.
Well done, man. That's really crazy achievement. Really, really crazy achievement.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm moving here a bit uncomfortably, but it's the humidity in these regions these days. So
I understand you, no problem.
Man, let me ask you something a little bit more about the story of DragonStake. Considering, like, doesn't matter, I mean, you said Freddy's story, considering, he was doing networking before networking existed, and, you are into education, and then you said there was another person involved, right? But why? What's the point for you today for DragonStake? What is the mission? What is the goal? Where is it going? Why validate?
Okay, as I said, I believe in blockchain and their future. So as Freddy and the DragonStake team. So that's why Freddy decided to found this company and started to focus all his life in proof of stake validation. As I said, he worked all his life with networks. So he saw blockchain as the new improvement in networks. First, there was the asynchronously networks, then it comes internet, and then it came the blockchain. So as we believe in the future of these new networks, one way to contribute to this ecosystem is creating the blocks, because as we know, without blocks, there's nothing. There's no dApps, there's no transactions, there's no value, there's no users. So Freddy and the technical team, they are really get used to create these infrastructures. In the past, the present and in the future, of course. So it was easier for them to create these nodes and starting validating in different networks like Polkadot, Cosmos, Avalanche, Evmos, and soon Ethereum.
And you say soon Ethereum.
Yeah.
Still, you want to collect 32 ETH? That's the problem. No, I'm joking. But why soon? Why not already?
Okay, that's a good question because right now, as most of you know, if you want to stake Ethereum in a native way without relying in third-party apps, you need to stake 32 ETH for each node, and we know that retail users don't have this amount. Most of them don't have this amount of ETH, so it appears a new network which will work with Ethereum one. It's called SSUV network. That they are in the alpha mainnet, if I'm correct. I don't. They are in the mainnet, but I think it's the alpha phase, and they are creating tools to stake your Ethereum without relying in third-party apps and without needing the 32 ETH. Right now, if you don't have this amount of ETH, you can go to Lido or other protocols to stake your ETH, but you are relying in a third-party app. It's not self-custodian. We strongly believe, and we are building everything in a self-custodian way and improving that. So we are closely working with SSUV Network to get these tools as soon as possible to the users. So we are really happy that these these new tools arrive to the users, so it will be easier for them to generate passive income with their ETH, right? Without relying to third-party apps, of course.
What about Rocket Pool?
What Rocket Pool I'm not familiar with. They are liquid staking, right?
They are the first non-custodial staking. They were before Lido. They were before everybody else. They were the first. I highly suggest you guys give them check out as well. RPL is the ticker. The guys have been building for a long time. They've really, and by the way, they already, I think, offer some tools. I don't want to advertise too much, so please do your own research. And this is for everybody, of course, who's listening to this. But in terms of, I'll support what Guillem, you just mentioned, that, Lido being a big giant, but we have to be a bit decentralized and take care of those risks as well. So, yeah, definitely look at non-custodial options, people, whoever is hearing this.
I didn't know about Rocket Pool. I have the website here. I'm gonna
check them out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out that. It's quite interesting. I mean, yeah, it can be Rocket Pool, it can be SSUV.
The idea.
The idea is that every staking should be self-custodian. So, if there's more options than just one, better for everyone. Decentralization.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely, man. You mentioned while you were telling about DragonStake in general and about you and Freddy that you met at a Polkadot event, and I know that you guys validate several different ecosystems, or rather chains inside. I don't know what's the correct way to say it, but yeah. And so I'm one of the goals that I had with Citizen Cosmos, and one of the goals that I still have with Citizen Web3, the main primary thing, really, why I want this project to exist, is curing tribalism, is for people to understand that regardless of which ecosystem you belong to, this bullshit doesn't matter. Who is bigger, who is smaller, we're not here to compare PPs. Well, we can, but yeah. But anyways, and you tell me straight away that you guys already. So it's something you guys, I guess, understand, and a lot of validators I speak to, they are not about tribalism. So, and you said you build a big community. So I'm really curious. My question to you: why does tribalism happen if validators are happy to validate Cosmos, Polkadot, Ethereum, everything else? So who is spreading this tribalism, and how do we stop it? What is the best way for people to understand that it doesn't matter what blockchain, as long as it's open, verifiable, decentralized, and blah blah blah, of course.
I think that this comes from outside, not from inside. I've been in a lot of events. I know a lot of people inside the ecosystem, companies, KOLs, and everyone. And we always say that we don't see each other as competitors. When I create content, I don't see my colleagues as competitors. So, oh, he has more views than me. I'm not gonna help him, or I'm not gonna talk to him. No, just the opposite. We are gonna create good synergies between we both to get I don't know how to say, well, get an advantage,
Bigger result.
get a bigger result, but together. So I think that this comes from outside, not from inside. And I'm talking about DragonStake vision. As I said with Rocket Pool, I mean, I don't care if it's Rocket Pool, if it's SUV, it's DragonStake, it's four ball citizen. We don't really care. I mean, well, we believe in decentralization, and we need more options that just one. So we are going to help our colleagues in whatever they need and create good right now, like this podcast. I mean, you are Cosmos validators. You invite us. It's not a competition. It's a cooperation. So I think I believe that this strong community comes that we are a few right now. We are a little people. We are not a lot of people in the industry yet. So we are not fighting each other, just helping each other to make this bigger and get all rewarded.
What is the what apart from education, obviously, because education is kind of the obvious answer. What else do you think can help? I don't know, us or everybody else to stop, to cooperate more, not to stop anything, but to cooperate more apart from education. And I'm talking about Web3 space, of course, for the sake of the conversation, not of the whole world.
I think that to make the cooperation bigger or better, we should think not. I understand we are all companies. I'm a company. DragonStake is a company. I mean, but myself, Guillem, is a company. I see myself as a company. So I need some revenue to live. So DragonStake to get bigger. So Citizen and that stuff. But as I said, we are not a lot of people. We need to create a good image to the outside. Right now, people that is not inside this industry see us as animals, scammers, and that we don't have future, and we get we earn this reputation because of bad actors, of course. But if we stay closer to each other, if we stay, we continuously improving and creating and developing, sooner or later, people will start losing this bad idea of this industry. So first thing, it's the education, of course. The second key point is start thinking as a group, not as individuals. It's difficult. I know it's the human instinct. And the third one, it's making all easier. Right now, entering the ecosystem, in the interoperability, it's really difficult. It's difficult for us that we are in this industry for many years. I cannot tell for people that start today. There are a lot of information, different apps. They are not user friendly. So I think that this is one of the main goals, to make this easier for everyone and just to come people inside the industry and start creating and developing more dApps and infrastructure here. I think I don't know. I would like to know your answer. Your answer.
It's pretty much somewhere on the same thing. I was gonna agree with you about simplicity. I've been using crypto since 2012 or something like that, and sometimes if I don't, for example, yesterday was the first time I had a chance in a long time to take care of some of the long-term accounts, so to speak. Go there, go there, stake that and stake this, and I can tell you that I haven't done it in several, about 4 or 5 months, really go deep into it. And I was like, what the fuck, what is this, why do I still have to, man, what year is this, are we still in 2012? Sometimes you have that feeling where you need to especially go between different chains and need to bridge something that doesn't have proper UI. They need to go find either something like a comma. Yeah, of course, I definitely agree with you. I think maybe as well responsibility, but that goes together with what you said about thinking. So, but maybe rather than thinking just as a group, I agree with you about that. Maybe I would love to see people taking more responsibility of everything that they do in general, of course. And I think that would translate to more cooperation maybe as well, because if I'm not expecting somebody else to be responsible, then maybe I will have more initiative to go and do more cooperation with DragonStake. If I don't think, DragonStake will take care of it, or I don't know, Forball will take care of it, or somebody else, then I'm like, okay, maybe nobody will take care of it. I have to take care of it. So I'll go, hey, DragonStake, hey, Forball, hey, I don't know, P2P, do you guys want to cooperate? Well, I don't know. Something like that. Something like those.
No, I completely agree with that. If anyone is doing nothing, so you should start that and talk with all the other colleagues, and then, hey, we should do that. Yeah, we don't think about that. We are always in our heads, in our brains with our stuff. So sometimes we don't think outside the box or in other things that outside of our business. Mm-hmm. So it's great to have different people that comes to you that says, oh, you should do that. Oh yeah, thank you.
Man, you mentioned Guillem, you mentioned team several times. Before I ask about the team, how many networks do you currently validate, by the way?
We are validating Avalanche. I have this. I have them in my screen.
Nice.
Avalanche, Polkadot, Kusama, Cosmos, Evmos, Kava, Forta, and SSUV.
So 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 3 people, right? As far as I understood, or you have more people?
No, we're more. We are currently 8 in the team.
8 people. Wow. So it's This is interesting because
most of them are developers. I mean, just me, myself, and another colleague are from marketing. The other ones are founders and developers as well.
It's interesting because a lot of people underestimate, I think, how many people it takes to run a validator that is a project and doesn't just validate a network and that's it. And even if it's just that, people underestimate how many people it takes to run. And I know I spoke before on this show to people who are managing to run 1-2 networks single-handedly. I have even spoke to people who have done more before, people who are, but they don't do operations. They don't operate a project. They operate. I don't want to say mining facility. I'm really sorry to say that, but it's not. It's a validation facility. But so yeah. My question to you is how do you find guys as a team? Because validating the networks you mentioned, unless you're a huge validator, the income that comes in is not always great. And having a team that has to operate the project, it needs to eat food. It needs to pay bills, and apart from making profit. So I'm curious, how do you guys survive with 8 people on this bear market? And what do you guys do? What's your advice maybe to other validators who are maybe smaller or bigger? I don't know.
Okay. As I have to tell that first of all, when you start creating a company, you make all by yourself, and if you have a co-founder, just the two of you, so you don't you can't have this amount of networks, because each network is like a baby. They need control 24/7. If the nodes are down, services, maintenance, any error, you need to quickly correct them before you get slash or you get penalized. So you need to thanks of being 8 people, Freddy can sleep at nights, so they can turns to control all the servers and nodes and stuff. But they started just Freddy and the other founder, it's Thomas. So they first started with Cosmos, getting a grant, winning a hackathon. It was the hackathon of Game of Stakes, I think it was called Game of Stakes, in the testnet. It's a hackathon in the testnet, not in the mainnet. They won one of the prizes there. It was the uptime prize, meaning that their node, our node, was the best one in not receiving attacks in a longer time. So they received a grant in Atom token, so they could start the node. It's easier for a VC or any company that has capital. It's easier for them to just buy the tokens, create the nodes, have the infrastructure, and just that work fluently. But if you are starting without this amount of capital, this amount of infrastructure, you should start working. And this is advice for anyone that would like to start their own node company or their nodes without creating a company creating a company. They should work in the easy stages of each network, in the testnet, mainly in the testnet. So if you don't have a background in the ecosystem, you are just a new one. They won't trust you. They won't give you a grant for your happy face. You need to work hard for that and work before receiving any compensation at all. I mean, for free. And if you contribute in any way, community management, technical issues, whatever it's your expertise, they will have that into account. And then if you talk with them, they will be more open to help you, giving you a grant or giving you work or whatever do you need. So that's the first advice that I give to these new people that would like to start as a validator. And the other one would be at a technical level, I'm not professional. I'm more, my expertise is marketing, but from my point of view is what I talked about earlier, that the 24/7 control. I think it's one challenge or what thing that people should take into account really seriously, because they cannot. There are a lot of problems always 24/7 in the space, so you need to stay really close to the monitor and correct these errors. And also, sorry.
Go on, please, Guillem.
Yeah. It comes to my mind. Growing a community. After you receive the grant, after you create your node, you could just live with the revenue that you have with this amount of tokens and what it gives you. But if you want more, if you want to create a bigger company, go to other networks, you need money. If you use this the money with the first node gives you to live, there's no money to invest. So you need to grow a community so people could know your validator and vote and delegate their tokens with you, so you could get a higher revenue and then invest in your company with creating other nodes or going to other networks or creating new products or services, whatever you want.
This is actually really interesting. Your first advice is what I have been used to say to people when they ask me about newbies. Ask me like, "Oh, so I only have $100 or whatever. How do I? Or I don't know coding. How do I?" Well, how you start to look on GitHubs. You start to look on commit to open source. You go and you draw a logo. You don't need to. You just find the place how to connect, and then as soon as you find that, you will find that path to the grant, so to speak, or to a
Yeah,
work.
and this is like another startup. If you have another expertise that it's not a techie, so you don't know how to create these nodes or these infrastructures, you should talk with people in the ecosystem and creating synergies and say, hey, I need help with that. Could you help me? Or could you would you like to found this company validating? Yeah, okay. So you are gonna take care of the technical issues. I'm gonna take care about the business economics. I don't know, business, marketing, design, whatever is your expertise. So if you are not able to do all the stuff needed to create the company, you should align yourself with people in the industry. In the industry, we are really open to to create synergies. So it won't be a problem to find a good colleague to work with.
Yeah, we have good happy faces, you know.
Also,
um, man, I know it's not an easy subject, but you mentioned it and you've done it yourself. And I think when you mentioned point number 3 about, you said, well, you can receive the grant and stay with the money that you will get from that income or whatever that brings you, if you stake at a percentage, whatever, I don't know, or you can create a community. Um, Man, but this is the secret. Wherever I speak to, whether it's validators or projects or I don't know, or our founders or anyone, everybody is always that's one of the hardest things everybody finds. Like, so how when you say create a community to somebody who's from outside of this, to somebody who's hearing this, what does it mean create a community? Would go on TikTok and film yourself? Not really making sense, right? Because well, I don't know, maybe for some validators it will work, I don't know, maybe. But what do you mean by that?
Uh, TikTok it's a good social media to grow your audience because organically without paying any cent, but it's not for everyone. I mean, right now, as I said, the blockchain ecosystem is really small. So if you go to TikTok and talk about staking, you can and you should at the beginning, but you won't get a lot of audience because you are inside the crypto ecosystem, which is small, and inside of that, you are talking about a really specific topic, which is staking. And not a lot of people know about the staking or know or they are not really interested in that. But you should. You should use mostly mostly Twitter. Twitter is I think you can agree with that. It's the main crypto social media. So you should grow your community in Twitter or Telegram/Discord. Both are great, and then you can use TikTok to just okay. Maybe the videos will be seen by 2,000 people, but maybe these inside these 2,000 people will be like 20 people that understand the staking, that like your videos, that like your image, your values, and they are going to invest in your. They are going to delegate the tokens with your node. So everything that you could do, it's welcome. It's not easy. There are companies that grow faster than other ones. I mean, content creators, individual people, it's easier to grow than a company. Exchanges have better resources to grow, and staking companies or validator companies, they have right now they have a handicap but it's not impossible. And not just social media, you should go to every event that you can, offline or online. Maybe as a speaker, maybe as a attendant, so you can create networks and start talking with people, with communities, with I don't know, with normal people. So here, there in these events, I knew a lot of good members in the community, and we created synergies by knowing each other in these events, like Freddie and me in the past. So I invite everyone to participate in every event they can.
It's not easy for sure. I know there is a lot of events, but I know that a lot of people, especially online. I mean, offline it's still possible, but online, that's it. You get lost, especially with. But I
Well,
understand what you mean. I
there
understand.
are a lot of Twitter Spaces, Telegram groups,
Yes.
Discord. We don't we you we have the idea of an event like with a stage, with I don't know, camera, a lot of attendance, speakers, whatever. But there are a lot of small events in inside communities, or like in maybe I by myself. I ask Guillem, today I'm gonna make a Twitter Spaces. And if I say, and if I saw that you participate a lot, that you are really interested, we are gonna create a good relationship, because I will remember you. And in the future, we don't know. Maybe we can create a company together. You have a business, and I could help you with connecting with other college, with other business. You don't know. You never know.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Let's talk a little bit about challenges for validators. I mean, we kind of been speaking about one community. I mean, we also spoke a little bit about another one, like grants and stuff. But in personal experience relating to DragonStake, what are the challenges, the biggest challenges that you guys come across as a validator?
I think that finding good networks. I mean, as I said, we are in 8 networks right now, but this doesn't mean that we only work with 8 networks. There are a lot of networks that we started working with them in the testnet, and they didn't arrive to the mainnet, or they just died, get run out of funds. So it's not easy to select the good networks, or the ones that have future. And I'm gonna put an example. It's just an example. It's invented. Don't trust that what I'm gonna say. But imagine that Polkadot right now it's the best network in the ecosystem, but in the next bull market, it disappears. I mean, people won't pay attention to the network. They don't create new parachains. They don't develop anything. It will, all your efforts will stay there, because people are gonna unlock. Most people will unlock their tokens. They are gonna sell them. So I think it's one of the challenges, selecting the good networks and the ones that are gonna be persistent in the future. Because being mainstream now, it doesn't mean that in 4 years you will still be mainstream, and it not depends on you. I mean, I don't have any control in Gavin Wood and Moonbeam and every DApp or network that it's built inside. So I think it's a key challenge working with these networks, and maybe we work with other networks that didn't go well. You invest time and money, and yeah, it goes like to
I
nothing.
know what you mean, and I think one of the worst feelings is not even lost opportunities, but to me personally, it's more about it's a personal thing, you know, when you spend a year or 2 years, sometimes more, dedicating creating content, dedicating your time, trying to help, to find contacts, to create a synergy, and then suddenly it just goes to nothing. To me, it's very. I understand what you mean.
It's part of the game. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it's I continuously say that in my social media, that blockchain companies crypto companies are like startups. You need to try. You need to try product services, and if they don't work, you need to pivot. You need to change, and just wait and just keep working until find a good product service, and in this case, a good network that attracts people, so you can attack. It's not a good word, but attack the people to make them delegate their tokens with you, so you will get more revenue, and you can continue grow. You can continue growing your company.
Do you have, without going super deep into it, like, do you have a list on the top of your head of criteria that would be good criteria for any validator to select or not select a particular network, like on the top of the head, like a kind of thing?
It depends a lot on who
who you speak to, right?
Yeah. In the case of Freddy, because Freddy is the one that it's the one who selects the networks that we are going to work with. First, he looks if the network fosters interoperability. Because, as I said, he started with networks. Network is like a construction that connects everyone. It's the Internet 2.0 in resume. So, that's why we work with Polkadot and Cosmos. Also, networks that aims or decentralized applications, self-custodian staking, like in this case SSUV, or other networks that brings new concepts, new features in the networks, that they are not a copy of a copy. And also that we are not going to work with BCC. We are not going to work with Binance Smart Chain because
I understand.
It's really centralized, so it's not inside our values.
Let me ask you a question, man. I have
first of all, I would like to know your answer in that. What are your
it's
main...
related. My question is because I wasn't going to ask that. My question is appeared now because of that answer. Like, one of the biggest problems that I realized over 4 years of doing this particular thing, this particular project, was that values and my beliefs, my values are my biggest enemy. And I'm not ready to. I'm the kind of person who is ready to fight until the end. So that's why, and today, So my answer is also values, but that is the problem. The problem, starts to arise that what I realize is that you cannot create a product if you have too many values. And for example, I'm a person who has way too much values, way too many. It's impossible to deal with me, really. I'm annoying myself sometimes. So a question is, how the hell do you guys live with it, man? Because I find it very hard. So what helps?
Yeah. We are seeing this right now. The last bull market, or the last years, we talk a lot about fundamentals, about how fundamentals were key to the success of a company. But at the end, we saw that not always the fundamentals won. We saw a lot of scams, meme coins, networks that they don't bring anything new to the ecosystem, and they go explode. And the other ones, they bring a lot of features, they work really hard, a lot of the apps, a lot of DeFi opportunities, and well built. They went to hell. So it's really frustrating seeing that the fundamentals, it seems like the fundamentals, they are not working. at least in this bear market. I don't in the bull market everything everything works, like the little shit in your floor, it works as well. So it's really frustrating that the values are not the key point right now. And I don't know in the future, in the next few years, if they will be the standard, or we will be seeing like all meme coins, all blockchains without any use going up, and the other ones like Polkadot, Cosmos, or Avalanche going down.
I understand, man. This is it's a question of, I guess, whether the market buys it, right? Whatever is getting sold.
Yeah, and here most of people is here for the money.
Yep.
So you cannot punish them. I mean, it's their money, their decisions, but in your point of view, it's like frustrating because you're not here just for the money. You have you want a good future for blockchains, but
I think I don't think that, but I hope that I mean, in my opinion, proof of stake is obviously also not ideal, but I hope that we will not just it's not just a lot of people that, even if the majority of the market is there for the money, I still think that I hope, sorry, again, not think, that let's say the core of that community of the market is still there for the ideas. I believe at least in that, and that's what keeps me going, I guess. And I guess that will develop things in the direction which will try to take the focus, I hope, again, away from the money and more on the how to develop proof of stake, how to make governance better, how to make things more decentralized, how to make nodes talk to each other without revealing IPs. I don't know, whatever, like blah 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 blah. Like, I hope that it's going to be that way and not another way.
I agree on that, and I think that this will I don't know how to say that, the change with between this market and what you said now will be the regulation. A stronger, in my opinion, I mean, you cannot avoid regulation. It's coming whether you like it or not. So regulation, I hope that will keep apart from this ecosystem all the scammers or all the not good projects that aims for the future of the blockchain and the interoperability networks, staking, whatever. So I hope that regulation will help to just maintain the good projects and get away with the bad ones. I hope so.
It's interesting, the amount of opinions in crypto that goes from the spectrum from, hey, we want to be decentralized, hey, we want to be regulated, hey, we want to be this way. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, really is. I mean, I'm on the other spectrum here, but it's interesting that we are both on the same in terms of values, but on the other spectrum in terms of regulation, not regulation. But
yeah, still, at the end we are gonna go to the same point, but I mean, with taking different paces.
That's what I'm saying. It's really funny in crypto to meet so many people where you see it from so many different angles, and at the end, all roads lead to Rome, right? But one last question before I go into the blitz. What is currently, at least for you, again, for Guillem, not necessarily just for DragonStake, what is for you the one thing that DragonStake has done that you are, or built, or it could be a tool, it could be something that you guys did, like help build a community, write a paper, something that you guys did in DragonStake that you are personally proud of as Guillem?
Okay. Talking about myself and DragonStake too, we're really proud that all the networks that we are working with, we started in the testnet and in the Genesis block. So it means that we are there from the beginning. So we help them in the testnet to check all the stuff. We have a good good anecdotes in Cosmos. We helped we stopped a civil attack in the testnet and other stuff. So we are really proud about that. That all the networks that we're working with,
Nice.
we are there from the beginning. And also we developed some tools in two ecosystems. The first one, it was in the Polkadot ecosystem. It's called polkastats.io. It's a blockchain explorer.
Oh, I use it.
Developed by our senior developer. Yeah, it's developed by Mario Pino, who is our senior developer. And then we have a recent creation, like a kid, like a baby, also directed by Mario, and it's the SSUV scan. You can search it in the ssuvscan.io, and it offers a complete set of functions that allows you or new users to evaluate the network performance and also the operators and validators performance. It's not a blockchain explorer per se as Polkadot stats, as Polkastats. It's focused on the operators performance. It's more a validators block explorer. So here you have all the information about the network, operators and validators, so everyone can look inside these nodes and select their favorite ones to delegate their Ethereum.
And the last one is blockchain stats, right? You said blockchainstat.io, right? The last one?
No, it's Polkastats, and this is ssuvscan.io.
ssuvscan.io. Sorry. The last one. Okay. The Polkastats, I know, but the other one is ssUV.io, right? Okay, nice. And all the links are obviously, guys, if you're listening to this, and are in the descriptions. Yes. So this was more of a personal question for myself. I didn't hear, to be honest, the last link. Okay, man, Blitz. So 3 questions. First one, 3 doesn't have to be blockchain. You could answer anything you want. 3 technologies that you are curious in personally today in the world. Could be projects, it could be technology in general, whatever you want. 3 things.
Okay, I'm gonna say Ethereum, Arbitrum as L2. Well, like, no, not Arbitrum, as ZK Sync, and then DAG.
Which one?
It's DAG. It's not blockchain. It's a DLT.
Okay. Well, what's the website to go and read about it if anybody wants to?
It's not a project. It's a technology. It's a distributed ledger technology that differs from blockchain. It's like an improvement of.
Okay. I directed a critic graph. Okay, sorry, Guillem. I understood. I directed a critic graph. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I heard Bach. Sorry, and I was okay, Bach.
No problem.
Sorry, man. Second one. What is 2 motivational things in your life that help you to keep on building and keep on waking up every day?
I always want to be the best of myself. I think that in life, the main goal is to become a better version of yourself every day. Not competing with the other ones, just with you being better than the past you. So I'm really competitive talking about myself. So I always wanted to learn about new stuff, new skills. So one thing that keeps me being like hustling every single occasion. And in this case, blockchain, I strongly believe in blockchain technology. I strongly believe in the future of cryptocurrencies. So that's the main reason that I'm still here in a bull market. In a bear market. I'm still creating and still developing with other colleagues. So I think that these two main topics will be my motivation in my day to day.
Last one then. Last one is Doesn't matter if it's real or imaginary, doesn't matter dead or alive, doesn't matter. Give me one, but one character or a real personage or persona, or it could be a coder, it could be your boss, it could be your family, somebody that inspires you still today, not just in the past, but today. It's not your guru, but inspires you.
I would say Will Smith.
Well, okay, that's an unusual one. Damn, I did not expect that. I did not expect that. That was unexpected completely.
Do you want a fun fact? Just to finish?
Please.
I'm called. My name is the same. I'm called like Will Smith, but in other language. Guillem in English is William, Will, okay. And Smith in my surname is Ferrer. It's a Catalan surname, and in English is Smith.
Okay.
So I'm Will Smith in the Catalan version.
Is the Will Smith from Barcelona? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I like it. I was not expecting that. I was. Come on. Well, Independence Day, Will Smith, yeah, pretty cool, but not always. You could be better than Will Smith in a lot of things, I'm pretty sure, man. But it's cool, man. That was really unexpected. You got me by surprise completely. Absolutely, man. Guillem, man, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you, and it's nice to put a face, even that it's not, of course, a team behind the project, but it's still nice to put a face to somebody I was been speaking to for many years online, about 4 years now already, or 4.5 with other members of your team. So yeah, and yeah, man, thank you for finding the time and joining.
Thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed this podcast. I'm sorry that my English is not perfect, so sometimes I get in blank, but I'm doing my best.
It was great. Thank you very much. And please don't hang up just yet. And thank you everybody who's tuned in and listened to us. Thanks. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
This content was created by the Citizen Cosmos Validator. If you enjoyed it, please support us by delegating to Citizen Cosmos and help us to create more educational content.